I gotta do some adjustments over here right away. Just watch the screen. Watch. Ready?
Oh, what?
Just so that everybody reads the descriptions and everything correctly.
I'm good with it.
I think we're live. We're live, Angel. Are we live?
We're live.
We're live. We're live, baby. Hello. Welcome to the MuseMe podcast. What's up, man?
How's it going, dude?
Andres. We have Andres in the studio. We're going to talk music. We're going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about whatever the fuck comes up. Don't worry about that. This is all uncensored, all fucking...
I'm good with it.
Dude, we're just going to chill. I'm going to learn more about you. I don't know a lot about you.
Yeah, we don't know a lot about each other. But
we've
been
played a few shows together.
Yeah.
I've seen you in and out of the scene. I'm just like, I gotta, we gotta know more. So,
we gotta know more.
So thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course, dude. That was a terrible handshake.
Let's do it that way. Yes.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. Who handshakes with their left hand? There you go. That's my fault.
Yeah.
I totally fucked that up. Anyways,
That's okay.
Introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are. Tell them what you do. Tell them how I know you. I mean, obviously, it's just that little subject there. But go ahead. Give us some.
So I'm Andres Martinez. I play guitar in Ireland.
Nice.
I know Angel through local music scene in Albuquerque. Played a few shows together. The last show we played together, I had the flu.
Oh yeah, I remember you were telling me. So you just weren't having it.
That was fucking terrible.
But I love how you still came out and did it though.
Yeah, once I got there, I was all right, I guess. But like, even in the hour before I had to leave, I was like, should I just tell him I can't make it tonight? And I was like, nah, my vocalist flew down from Vegas. I can't do this. But,
that'd be that'd be not cool. Because that's crazy too. How your band is kind of like not all together right now. You know, you have some people out in different states and stuff. Like, how does that work? Like, what happened there? Like, tell me more.
So right now everyone lives in Albuquerque Albuquerque except for the vocalist, and he lives in Las Vegas. But it works well. We all practice our parts individually and make sure we get as tight before we practice. And usually when we have a show lined up, we'll practice like the weekend before or the day of. And it goes well. We've done pretty smoothly. Our last show was a little more difficult with technical difficulties on our end, I think, but it happens.
It does. Like it happens to the best of us too.
Yeah,
like you didn't even expect it when it does. So
yeah, we still made it through our set. It happens. So at least we made it.
So how did the band come to be? Like obviously, like I don't want to like just say why is he in Las Vegas, but like what is he doing out there that has him still coming all the way over here to play with you guys? Obviously, it's the dedication of the music and the band. So
everyone in the band is pretty dedicated. Like we're all really committed to making Ireland go as far as we can. I'm new to the band. I've been in the band almost a year now. And so I'm not too familiar with how it all came to be.
Oh, okay.
Like I've heard a little bit here and there, but not enough that I could give a full description.
Okay.
But I know I met the guitarist Daniel, who's the one who brought me in. I think I met him at a show one time, and I was just like, hey, you're Daniel. And he was like, hey, you're Andreas. And so we hooked up there and then jammed a couple of times. And he was like, hey, want to come jam some Ireland stuff with us? And I was like, sure, dude. And I guess it went well because a year later I'm still in the band.
Nice. I'm glad that he liked it too, because obviously he went out of his way to like, hey, yeah, you want to jam? Let's hang out.
That was really cool.
Do some stuff.
They were actually my favorite local before I joined, so that was kind of
nice. So a little fangirl kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, awesome. Yeah. Get to play with the people I like.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So did you actually have a band before you played with them, or what did you do before then?
Before then, I was in another local band called Taking Heart, which I quit due to just personal conflicts and stuff. But me and the guys are good now. I'm still helping them with music from time to time and hang out with the guys. So it ended up not being for me for the most part.
You were just like not really having that much.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's still cool that you guys are on an equal plane.
Yeah.
You guys are not all like having feuds.
We're not all salty toward each other.
Exactly.
I try my best not to do grudges or beef with people because it's a waste of time and it just divides people.
That's true. I mean, why would anybody want to be angry when you could just all have fun together?
Yeah.
I totally understand that aspect too, because I've never been a mean person, or I never had a feud with, why am I going to be mad or like be pissed off? I mean, maybe you did do something to me that might have upset me, but I mean, I can get over it, or like time will pass.
There's very few people who have done anything that that I wouldn't forgive if they were to like apologize or anything too. And it's not like There, I don't know. There are people who will just go around trying to trash other guys' names, and I'm not a fan of that. You
Yeah,
know?
that's not cool either.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it. I
Yeah.
personally don't get it. Maybe it's like a personal gain kind of thing, or like maybe feel good about yourself. But I've never.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. That's crazy. So how long? So I know more about you.
Yeah, dude.
How long have you been playing guitar?
I've been playing since I was like 9.
9.
And so I'm 18 now, so about 9 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that you look older than I do.
I look older than everyone. I don't know how that.
That happens to the best of us. I mean, that's going to be a recurring phase in this podcast, but it does happen. Like, honestly, I feel like, and looking at you now, I'm just like, God damn it, why do you not? You look like you're 27. Why?
That's what everyone says, and it's funny. I work at an elementary school.
Oh, crap.
And so I'm the youngest employee there currently.
But yet you still kind of fit in, right?
Still kind of fit in, but it's funny. I'll get teachers and other staff asking me, so how old are you? Oh, I'm 18. No, what? Yeah.
That's crazy.
And some of my students are like, you're like twice my age, and I'm like, yeah.
You got it. There you go. I look even 4 times your age, but you know, it happens, right?
Yep.
That's always the worst part, because like, do you know how old I am?
Mm-mm.
Guess.
20, 22, maybe.
That's it. Maybe a little higher. You want to try?
20, 23, 24,
A little higher.
25, what?
Just a little bit higher.
26, 27.
27.
You're 27.
I'm 27 years
God
old.
damn.
I know, right? Don't I
Yeah.
look like a baby?
Yeah, you do.
That's ridiculous. See, and that's why I get mad when I see you. I'm just like, I go to the store. They're like, hey, why the hell do you have an ID? Here's my ID. This is obviously fake. How is it fake?
Right? Yeah.
And then they probably just like, here you go. They don't even card you.
No, I rarely have gotten carded anywhere. I about a year ago, this band called Enterprise Earth came to town, and I wanted to go buy their CD, but I didn't know if I had enough money, so I left the venue to go to an ATM, and I came back finding out I had enough, and they took card. So I was like, I had enough, and I was like, oh, I don't know who I'm going to ask. The venue knows they have to give me back the card, so that's my safest bet. But then I accidentally saw their drummer like walking out, and I was like, hey, dude, you mind if I buy a CD? So he ran back in and got it for me, and it was really cool. He and I ended up having dinner.
Nice.
But he told me, he was like, you should get a fake ID. This is when I was 17. It's like, because you look like you're 25. And I was like, oh, thanks.
You could pull it off. Because I know some people that have fake IDs, and I'm just like, wow, you don't even play it off. Like, I mean, obviously some people are stupid enough to believe the fake ID, but
right.
I don't get how that shit happens.
Most of the time people don't even check. They're like, it's an ID. You're good.
Yeah, there you go.
You have something.
I saw a face. You're good. That's fine. So, what influenced you like to play music? I mean, where did this come from? Like, have it's been in your family? Do you?
Yeah, dude. I've had music in my life forever. Like, my grandpa used to play gigs and out of town stuff. He had a bunch of cool guitars, a bunch of cool acoustic stuff.
Nice.
And that kind of piqued my interest. I had a piano when I was young, but I was always drawn to guitar. And then my grandpa just happened to give me one day, and it was where I got my start. And then I just kind of kept going with it. And soon I ended up in high school and talked to a guy who was, hey, man, you want to join a band? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure, why not?
Nice.
And went from there, and here I am.
Sweet. So
I've just always had it in my life, yeah. And even then, my dad played music. He had like high school band and stuff, but he influenced, or he showed me a lot of the bands that influenced me to start off with. And
and named a few.
My first favorite band he showed me was Tool.
That's awesome.
And then from there, showed me like Pantera, and I was like, oh my god, they can't play this on like the radio. And I just kind of delved from there, went into stuff like Lamb of God, got into a little heavier stuff, and then I discovered August Burns Red on my own, and that kind of changed how I perceived music. And then I started going into that metalcore feel, and from there I delved as much into the obscure as I could.
Just like weird off timing, awesome, like intricate.
I
love it too, because like that's what always brings in the cool aspect of music. I mean, don't get me wrong, you always love that catchy like 4/4 beat, or that awesome, let me go ahead and sing along with you. But then all of a sudden too, you just want that cool, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
I've always liked that in music too. I've always been a big prog fan.
Yeah.
So like always like Dream Theater or like Tool, like shit like that, Perfect Circle, just things that keep you like guessing.
Yeah.
I've always felt that way when I'm listening to like Opeth or something like that.
Sure.
What's a something good? What's a good concert you've been to? What's one of the best concerts you've been to? I mean, you go to a lot of concerts too,
I do.
but you're also young too.
Yeah. Let's see. Had quite a few good concerts, but I think the best one is my current favorite band, Dance Gavin Dance.
Nice.
On their Mothership tour, where they did like 5 cities, and Albuquerque, just for whatever reason, happened to be one of them.
Nice.
And it was Dance Gavin Dance headlining Polyphia, Icarus the Owl, and Wolf and Bear. And each band just like continued the energy from the next. Like Wolf and Bear opened it up. It was like, okay, these guys are cool. You can hear the Dance Gavin Dance influence and why they're where they are, what they are, you know.
Why they're
Pretty
opening?
okay.
Yeah.
And then I've listened to Icarus the Owl a few times, and I was like, oh, these guys are actually insane. Okay, and then I love Polyphia. They're also in my top 5 favorite bands.
Nice.
And they brought it, and then Dance Gavin Dance came on, and it was funny. That was my 4th time seeing them. The first time I saw them, they were like the most boring band I had seen live.
Really?
They were cool. I knew the music. It was like head boppy stuff, but they were just up there playing. They weren't really doing anything. They came on this 4th time, and they just, for whatever reason, they brought it. They had energy. Like, I could barely even hear what was going on musically because the crowd was just so hyped.
So
and just,
crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Because that's always the best thing, too, is like when the band brings so much more of a stage presence.
Uh-huh.
It's just like, it's
Yeah.
so open. It's just like, wow,
Yeah.
I feel the music with you.
Yep.
Because I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful to the music scene here in Albuquerque, but sometimes it feels like there's just like not that much, no more.
There are a few bands around here that I think actually feel their music, and the ones that feel their music aren't, I don't know, I guess as
It's okay, man. This is uncensored.
as showy about it.
Say it all. Say it
Does
all.
that make sense? Like,
Bring the
not,
truth.
They're not as showy about it, but like it's still, you go and see them and you're like, oh,
You can
okay.
see the talent.
You
can see the energy, whatever they're bringing to it.
And then conversely, there's those few, the few that stand out to me, like you know, the dudes in Patema.
Yeah.
They always bring a show, and they always bring something new to their show each time.
Yeah.
And then they're showy about it, but in a professional way. So they're not like, hey, look what I can do. They're like, yeah, oh, and then they just bring it, and I don't know.
So they're
cool.
yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah.
It's always because I mean we're already talking about guitarists in that band, but Jaden's badass. So
Jaden is crazy.
yeah, it's awesome. So
Yeah.
it's so cool just to find, especially finding influences from different bands too. Because I see him play and I'm just like, holy shit, that's awesome. I would totally like to try to incorporate something like that.
Right.
So it's awesome to get influence from local people too. But
yeah.
I don't know how influential they are when they think they're better than you. And I mean,
And then you get those bands.
yeah,
I won't name names here, but there are those bands that just think they're better a
Just
little
say
bit,
it,
and
they all suck. Anyways, it happens though.
it happens. And you know what? I wish them well. They're doing their thing. Again, I'm not going to be hostile about it or anything like that. And you know, if you want to be showy about your band, at least you're doing something you can be proud of.
That's true, right?
And yeah.
I guess it just depends on how the person perceives it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously, in our cases, we obviously want to do the best we can in our band to show the people
This is what we have to offer.
that
and
we're
shit.
badass.
Yeah.
And the person that's watching, hopefully, they're not like, wow, look at this guy. He totally is like fucking off the wall, stupid, or like,
Right.
It's how the person perceives it.
Do you remember the benefit show we played together in November?
I do actually.
The Toy Drive one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, that was like my first show. That was my 3rd show with Erlen, but that was the first one I played where I like felt tight, if that makes sense.
No, like obviously you had
Yeah.
a couple practices in, and you were
Uh-huh.
actually getting the feel with the guys.
Mm-hmm. And that one I had to learn a new song, and I procrastinated like fuck on it. Like I should have put more time into it, but I was just truthfully lazy and stressed, and I don't even remember what was going on then. But I remember I was nervous. Like I went up there nervous as hell. I had my parents in the audience, and they're not always in the audience. So, and they were ready. They were like, you guys better bring it tonight. And
Yeah, we want to see a show.
Yep. I had my girlfriend and her family in the audience. Jaden ended up showing up, and I was like, oh shit, I have to play really good for these guys. And then the touring band, I have a friend who used to tour with them when their bassist couldn't, and he was in the crowd. And so I was like, all eyes on us, gotta impress. And so it got to the point where I sort of, I don't know, stopped thinking about what I was playing and just kind of let it happen. Does that make sense?
No, yeah. I get what you're saying.
And that was the show I'd also received the best feedback from.
So
Like, we brought it, and it was
were,
tight, and
you guys did a great set. You know, so kinds of energy that you got a lot of praises and stuff after.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love how you remember that too. You're just like, that was the show that really made me feel defined in that band.
Yeah, that was my okay. I'm now a part of Aerolin. I'm not just with Aerolin. Does that make sense?
No, I see what you're saying. Because obviously there's those things where you like to call features. You're not a feature.
No, not anymore.
You're like part of the band.
Yeah.
So it's always awesome to like have those incorporations where you feel like I'm actually part of it. Because saying like your aspect, you joined them. They were already established, and you're just like you're coming into their project.
Yep.
And the fact that they're just like, you did good.
And that was nerve-wracking as hell a year ago, because they messaged me. Their album had just come out. Our album had just come out in December. They messaged me in March. So I'd given it somewhat of a listen, but I hadn't had any of the songs like fully memorized or anything, you know.
Yeah.
And they sent me the guitar tabs, and I was looking at that like, fuck.
Really?
I don't know how to do that. And there's still some of it that I struggle with. And truthfully, there's only so much playing to a metronome at half speed and increasing from there that I can do before I just have to accept it, because we've had shows come and go like that.
Yeah.
And it's just, I try my best.
The hardest thing is to think of is it's always time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have the time to excel that fast, but I mean, you're doing your best to get there that fast.
Yep.
And some people are just a little bit more intuitive for that than others. I mean, there's some licks that I know I could probably learn faster than others, but I mean.
Well, and there was some of it, like, one of the ones they warned would be hard is the song most people reference when they talk about it is our song Blasphemer. And they said, yeah, this one's going to be hard, but that one came pretty easy to me. Then they said the one we play in our live set immediately after that, Arsonist, they were like, oh, this one should be easy once you get the hang of it. That one still fucks my brain. Like,
really? You're still like, God damn it.
Yeah. There's just a couple of parts here and there where it's like, if my pinky isn't on par and my ring and pinky right there, it's just like, well, turn my guitar down, hope no one notices.
And the sad part is like, you hear the mistake.
Yep.
And I hate that aspect too, when you go off stage and you're like, oh, I did so bad, I know I messed up, and everyone down there's like, you did awesome, you totally rocked it.
And you're just over here like, no, I fucking didn't.
I know you're being super nice, but let me have my faults. Let me have my faults. That's what makes me a better player.
Right.
Knowing that I messed up somewhere and working towards that.
Yeah,
If everyone always just praises me, I'm just gonna be like, why would I work on it? I'm good I'm good at it.
And that's something I've been trying to address with people. I always try to do one nice thing to say, hey man, your set was really solid. One thing they could work on as constructive. If there's nothing they can work on, there's nothing they can work on. Like, there are people who have just had a genuinely good set. But I always try to incorporate one thing you can work on. Hey man, try this. Have you heard of these new pickups? You know, have you heard of this new guitar? But and then finish with one nice thing. Oh, also, like, and then I don't know. It's easier that way than to just be like, great set, bro. Great set, bro.
I know that's kind of true too. I mean, in that aspect though, because I mean, we both play, and I mean, there's those people out in the crowd that like don't truly listen,
right?
And they still give you that weird praise where they're just like, you did awesome, dude. Good set, and you're just like, I totally fucked up. Like, you're totally just like, I don't even know if you're just like bullshitting me or you're just trying to like give me this. I don't know. So
yeah, why coddle someone you don't know or B care about, and if I don't know, why not help them grow?
I mean, constructive criticism is key to success. I don't know. I'm just like one of those weird philosopher guys, but
no, I got you. That's absolutely true. Without constructive criticism, there's not really opportunity for growth. And one of the things I had to get around was knowing that everyone else knew something more than I did. And in the year and a half now that I've been in the music scene, I've learned a fuck ton. Still not nearly as much as I want to, but like gear and stuff. My first live show, I had a little Fender combo amp, and I didn't know how to dial in a good tone or anything. I was just like, oh, that sounds metal-y.
That sounds decent to you.
Yeah. And looking back on that first live set, I'm like, that sounds terrible.
And
what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah, there's certain things too, like even like, because I forgot what, I think it's a PV Widow, but I don't like the speakers that are in it.
Okay.
But I do have a combo Line 6 Spider 3 with Celestian speakers that came with that model only, which was pretty cool because like
That
when
is cool.
they came out with the Line 6 cab,
Uh-huh.
they don't have those same Celestian speakers that the combo has. So I really like the combo speakers.
Uh-huh.
For whatever reason, those combo speakers have just some amazing tone to them that just sound so crisp. I can plug them in, like I plug in the Line 6 Spider 4 head into that. Obviously, I can't really use the speakers that well, but I just want to take out the speakers and put them inside something else.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel that.
Because it's like making your sound at that point.
Yeah, yeah. That's the combo you used when you guys like first started
The
out, huh?
very first, yeah.
The Moshtober show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that because I was
was-
looking at that and I was like, okay, he has a combo. Guy over here has a half stack, but I can hear him a little bit more.
And something I just loved about the combo was just the way the speakers were. I mean, don't get me wrong, Line 6 is obviously Line 6. It's always going to be, I always feel like no matter where Line 6 is, it's always going to be the same head model, same. Even if Line 6.5, I haven't tried it yet.
The Spider 5?
Yeah, I still feel it has the same kind of simulation, same tones, same as the 4 and the 3. But when you add your own cab with your own speaker system, that's where you really shine. Yeah, that's where you really shine.
I tried the Spider 5 combo at a Guitar Center, and it was okay. It still sounds more, I guess, harsh in the Line 6 Spider fashion, if that makes sense. But I definitely saw improvements. They incorporated a lot more modeling and just a lot more you can do with it. I'd say for a practice amp, it's a good buy. But if for like live stuff, if I were gonna go Line 6, their Helix, I don't know if you've seen the Helix modelers and stuff. That is killing the game right now. Like that is great piece of technology that I can barely begin to work, but I've heard it used live several times. So I'm just like, shit, that's good.
Yeah, that's because I've seen some reviews on it too, and it's just awesome. I mean, it's a good piece of work, and especially if you start adding your own inputs on it. I mean, it just becomes more of a better machine.
It serves as redemption for me from the Spider series as a whole. And I've looked extensively. There are many professionals and touring bands that I enjoy that are using that, and they're going from that. One of my favorite bands, in fact, Reflections, I saw has recently changed over from Fractal Audio to Line 6 from the Axe Effects to the Helix, and that was huge to me because Erlen is using the Axe Effects right now, and I'm curious if Helix would serve our tone better, or tones. So I don't know. That Helix might be my next purchase, actually, just because it's not terribly expensive and it does a lot. Like, there's just,
money saving wise, it could get a lot done.
Yeah.
That's the coolest part about like building your own rigs and stuff too, is like it's just the way you build it.
Yep.
So awesome. I always see that incorporated in anything, like even a computer build or like a car build or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
You can have this shitty ass looking Mazda that has the shittiest paint job ever, but
what's under the hood?
Exactly.
Will drive it and
is like probably insane or impractical, whatever,
Yeah.
which is cool. Let's switch topics here.
All good, man.
We fucking music did all out. I mean, on this podcast we talk about whatever. I always come up with stupid shit all the time though. So like one of the big ones that I always bring up, and I'm just gonna bring it up.
Bring it up.
Aliens. How do you feel about them, man? Are they out there? Have they been here? Can they come here? Why have they not been here? I want to hear your input on this.
Truthfully, I haven't spent as much time recently invested in it as I used to, but
so there was a used to.
Sort of. Like, I spent most of middle school and high school grounded.
Okay.
So I had like guitar and time to think, and that was about it. And so sometimes I would think and talk to people about weird shit, and then I'd pick up stuff from middle school and high school. And whenever there were times where I'd think about aliens, and I would sit there in my room completely dark thinking about, man, what if? But truthfully, I don't know. Like, I don't know anyone that does know.
No, I honestly don't think anybody knows.
Exactly. And there are people out there that swear they do. There are people out there that swear everything. I revert back to a conversation with my dad, though.
Okay.
Where he was talking, and he said, in a much nicer way. He said basically everyone's thoughts and opinions on it are complete bullshit. But I think personally, I think there are aliens out there. It's hard for me to grasp the thought that we could be here alone, but I mean, if we are, doesn't change how I'm gonna live my life or anything like that. But I think they are out there. I think the picture you see and the stereotype of aliens that we
Big
see,
eyes, bald head.
yeah, the big eyes, bald round
What do
head.
they call them? The
weird
grays.
screens. Yep.
The grays.
I think all of that, and this is what my dad was kind of getting at. He was like, why do they all have to be that, you know? Like, aliens wouldn't even necessarily have the necessity for eyes, or they could have an ass that tastes, and it's just, it functions the same, but different as a human, you know? Like, all kinds of unthought about possibilities. And I don't know, every alien movie I've watched has had aliens turning bad, like bad for humanity. I mean, this is going to get me in a lot of trouble.
No, man, go ahead. This is what the podcast is for.
I haven't seen E.T. since I was like 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear that one's more uplifting, but I'm not sure.
Well, E.T. unfortunately is a ripoff of this movie of this Astro girl that we were doing some research, and whatever what was it again?
It was the magical levitating girl.
Oh yeah, have you ever seen that video on the internet of there's this like magical levitating girl in the forest in Russia?
I haven't. But
You have not?
I'm intrigued.
Oh my god. Okay, so there was this girl. There's camera angles really shaky and whatever, but she's floating in the air, and then all of a sudden she falls into her father's hands, and they take off running because they see the cameraman. So it looks like if they're practicing witchcraft or something.
All right.
Turn down, little.
Tarzan.
If you haven't seen this, guys, go look it up. Flying girl in Russian
Ко
woods.
мне. Ко мне, Тарзан. Ко мне, я говорю. Tarzan.
Love Russians.
Tarzan, я сказал,
Right.
ко мне.
See, so he's like, oh no, I gotta go follow my dog
Come
because
here.
he's running off into nowhere.
Oh, okay.
Что это? Тихо, тихо, Тарзан. Тарзан, тихо. Тарзан. Боже мой.
And that was it.
Что это было?
That was it.
Trippy as shit.
But there was it a Russian cartoon, right? It was a Russian Russian show back in I'm just guessing at this point, like in the 60s, the 70s, about an Astro girl who could fly and stuff. So this other YouTube channel known as Captain Disillusion, he debunks stuff like this.
Okay.
And he totally debunks it. And he gives examples of why Russians probably wanted to do this idea because they had this influence of this Astro girl that does it. And then they were making fun of it. Me and him were making fun of it because it's just the same fucking story as E.T.
Yeah.
But instead they portray it as like a android-ish girl that comes from space to help out everybody.
Interesting.
So it's so weird the fact that we've already dealt with alien stories.
Well, and they've been around since longer than time can tell. I mean, you look at like the pyramids and shit. There are more people statistically now from a study I read. I couldn't cite it, so I could be totally full of shit.
Yeah,
Don't
this
judge me.
is why we're on the podcast. We're not scientists, we're not academic scholars, but we want to know the truth and we talk about it. Go ahead.
I read a thing. It was like a Facebook thing, so it's probably half full of shit at least.
At least.
But it says statistically more people out there believe that there was alien involvement in building the pyramids in Egypt than people who don't believe that, who believe that humans did it all on their own.
Okay.
So I've never been to the pyramids. So truthfully, everyone accepts that the pyramids are there.
Yeah, there's everyone's just like, there obviously are pyramids there.
But I haven't been to Egypt, so I cannot definitively say I've been to Egypt and seen the pyramids, so I can't say the pyramids are there. But I have it on good authority that they are.
With tons of research that I've done online, Google
Yes.
Maps, everything, I'm safe to say that they are the pyramids there.
And I have it on good authority that they're huge and theoretically impossible for humans to have dealt with on their own.
I mean, look at that. I mean, the way that the way that they say it too, it's like the blocks were perfectly placed, like stone blocks that were like what, 100 tons, like
More
literally.
than I could fucking lift on my own.
Yeah, everybody in this room probably
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to lift one of those blocks, and there's only 3 of us, just so you know. And it's ridiculous because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it now, and the way like how.
Yeah. And so a lot of people suggest the help of aliens. I mean, could have been anything, but I don't know.
See, and then that's that aspect too. What if it was like a spirit or like some like religious identity?
Or what if it's something else? We delve into like religion or aliens or terrestrial anything. But what if it's just something else? What if humans were just bigger back then and we've evolved? What if
they got to give applause for that, right? What if they were just bigger? Like there's that theory that there was titans, like giants. Like what if they were the ones that built it?
I wasn't there. I don't know. That's all I have to say. Like I have a hard time speculating on anything I don't know about.
It's always fun. It
is fun.
That's
though.
always my thing is like I don't, because I've always been into like finding out everything I can. Even if I don't believe it, I want to know why you believe it, and maybe I might believe it too, but I want to know, because the pursuit of knowledge is better than keeping your head in the sand.
That's what humans are in modern days geared toward, is the pursuit of knowledge and furthering our, I don't know, intellectual prowess, I guess.
Right? I mean, don't get me wrong. You love to play guitar, right? But yeah, I mean, pretty sure you sit back and like totally throw on a freaking YouTube educational video about the history of guitar.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or like the history of certain type of music that happened. You don't have to be subjugated to like one style of what you're learning or what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, which is amazing about the internet now.
Yeah. And internet's full of fun shit.
Can you imagine the fact that you can actually take the same course as a PhD doctor in neuroscience online?
Right.
You can. No difference. The same exact, probably the same test that they're going to take in their college course. You can take in your home personally. How does that not mean we're not smarter yet, people?
My dad showed me a quote, and I don't remember what it's from.
Your dad sounds smart.
My dad's crazy.
Why is he not on the podcast? Let's bring him on the podcast.
Bring my dad on the podcast.
That's awesome. I probably can pick at his brain and totally get mind blown.
You'd get mind blown. You'd get mind fucked. Like that guy's.
Anyways,
on another level.
Tell us.
My dad. He showed me a quote or something. I don't even fucking remember what it was, but it was something along the lines of, if we went back, say 50, 100 years, somewhere in that time, and showed them, look, this is the technology we have now, and showed them you can look up literally anything on the internet and learn about it and shit. And it was like a scenario, and the guy from said time period is like, so you guys have all this knowledge at your fingertips, quite literally. What have you used to learn? And the guy's like, cat pictures, memes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
full of dumb shit, and I don't know. It made me chuckle. That's how we are as a species.
Like we're using it for the wrong things. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong.
I don't even know if it's the wrong things. It's just like not using it to its potential, which I think is something very interesting that we do. We've gotten so complacent with the technology that's been handed to us, quite literally, and we make cats with like
bread on their head. How does that? That's ridiculous.
I think it's funny.
It's weird how that happens too, because like obviously I'm over here on YouTube and I'm just like, I would actually like to see a child prodigy that's excelling in music or something. Heck yeah, those pop up. Looking at that, why is there a related video of a cat doing?
Yeah.
I mean, I get the aspect of people like that. I mean, obviously, wouldn't you like to laugh just once in a while at a cat? I mean, who doesn't?
Well, and then they also have these videos of like animals in general doing either dumb shit that's stupid funny, and you're like, what am I doing with life? Or like things animals can't do. So like you can look up the famous video of the dog skateboarding or whatever.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen multiple ones because now obviously they're trying to trend that.
Uh-huh.
Once you see one person do something, fucking the internet tries to copy everybody.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, this is why I'm doing a podcast. But that's that aspect. I mean, just like my dog could do the skateboarding trick too, but better. He's gonna probably play it.
Oh, okay. I was like, what was that?
Yeah. That's so weird too. This dog. I mean,
I don't know if that's the right one, but
any dog is the right one at this point.
Right? Yeah. And I don't know. People are so fascinated by like shit like this. I don't know.
You know what's crazy too? It's like, well, we were talking about it before you came to the podcast. It's like, you know who Joe Rogan is?
I don't.
Okay, have you ever heard of the show Fear Factor?
Yeah.
You know the host of that show, Fear Factor, back in the day?
Sort of.
Do you know the commentator for the UFC? The main commentator for the UFC known as Joe Rogan.
Let's say I'm somewhat familiar.
Show him a picture. Bring up a picture of Joe Rogan. But anyways, he does a podcast show on YouTube, and that's where I got the influence and inspiration to do this. But that guy quotes something, too, that was awesome. He's like, nowadays, people like to see other people excel.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why, but in today's time, like, people like to see other people excel. They're like, holy shit, I'm watching this guy on YouTube do something I can do that he loves to do. That's Joe Rogan.
Okay, I've seen that face.
Yeah, he's a funny comedian. He's a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
And he's also the commentator of UFC, and he did fucking Fear Factor back in like 2000 and stuff.
All right.
But
So
he's a big inspiration to me. I like the guy.
Sure.
He's hopefully one day he's like, oh hey man, I want to be on your podcast, or vice versa.
I support it.
Joe Rogan,
Go
I'm
be on
talking
Joe
to
Rogan's
you. I'm
podcast.
talking to you. Yeah, but that's the aspect. Is like, it's so cool nowadays. It's like, we can work hard in something we love to do, and there's going to be a following.
Yeah.
Because no offense on the band, but say you don't end up doing stuff with the band, but you still pursue your music, there's still going to be a following for people that listen to just your music, that love what you're doing with it.
And that, again, the internet is an amazing ass thing. You can post up anything to the internet now and get the right kind of followers if you know how to use it
Exactly.
correctly. I don't, otherwise.
Practice makes perfect. I mean, obviously I'm doing this podcast, but what, 5 people are probably watching it?
I have 5 people.
I know, when there could be millions of people that are just like, holy shit, the millions of people out there that do want to listen to us talk to music, they don't know this is going on right now.
Right, yeah.
They have no idea. They're probably like skimming through tons of stuff trying to find where's
Something
good
like
music
this.
talk,
Yeah,
where's
yeah.
something going, but they'll never find it until that, I don't know, that breaking point comes. Kind of like how you said that aspect of playing with your band, how you were just like that one
show
gig
that I finally just like, oh shit,
I'm part of it.
We in this.
Yeah, so that's the cool thing about this is too, you'll
Yeah,
never
yeah.
know what's going to come from it.
Right.
I love how we just ended up talking about random shit and it was from aliens.
Hell yeah. That's
Are you a political person?
not very.
No.
I don't like to delve into it because no matter what, there's someone I'm gonna offend.
Who are you going to offend? Donald Trump? Probably. I would fuck that guy. I mean, geez.
I mean, here's my stance on politics. The more I hang around like right-wing conservatives, the crazy extreme people, like, you know, liberals are going to be the death of us guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, these guys make no sense. This is fucking annoying. And they remind me how liberal I can be. And vice versa. The more I hear and hang around all these liberal people who are like conservatives, just want death and power and all that shit. And I'm just like, fuck.
I kind of get what they're coming from.
I don't know. I think we invest so much time into it for how little say we have into it. Does that make sense?
I guess I see what you're saying.
And it's not.
Especially if you pick a side.
Uh-huh.
Because, I mean, there are those people that are totally right-wing, but yet they don't get nothing done for them.
Exactly. And it's like, congratulations on your 4-paragraph long Facebook post that like 5 people are going to read and 20 people are going to ignore. No one else is even going to see.
Right? You're going to get in a fight with that one person that nobody cares about.
And what bothers me about it is people are so willing to just drop people over differences in politics. Like, I mean, the hot topic right now is gun control because everyone...
It's true.
Yeah, and all the school shootings happening, like, I get the necessity for it if it's a necessity to you. I also get why people don't want it, like, and a lot of people have different perceptions of it. Like, there are the ones on the right who are just like, yeah, don't take away my guns. Fucking shoot the government, whatever, you know?
Pow, pow, pow.
I'm like, gun-toting idiot. Really tough they're calling every liberal a snowflake. But then you get the guys that are like, he has a pistol. He's going to kill fucking everyone. And it's like, Jesus Christ.
Why would that guy kill everybody when he goes to, like, you know, see, I see what you're saying, though. They're already labeling and giving these kind of, like, why would this guy have a gun? Like, nobody should have guns. Like, if that one guy has a gun, that probably means he's going to kill everybody, just like that kid did.
Yep.
And it's kind of ridiculous because now it's labeling and making other people seem like, it kind of makes, I feel, gonna get hate. Here comes the hate.
Hatred.
I feel that when you start labeling people like that, you're like, oh, well, obviously they're gonna use the guns for all the bad reasons.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna use the guns for the bad reasons because
Yep.
you're making it happen. So that's the biggest concern that I have is like you're only making this problem happen more.
And like I said, my biggest problem, like everyone's entitled to their opinion. I don't give a fuck what your opinion is. Because again, I'm not much of a political person. Like, I'm not gonna let someone's stance on politics, whether they're completely stupid or completely valid, I'm not gonna let that change my friendship with them or lack thereof. Like, I could have someone who totally agrees with everything I agree with politics, and I can be like, yeah, you're still a piece of shit.
Right.
And like I said earlier, I try to avoid the hostility. So the converse of that is there could be people who I like absolutely disagree with. There are people who I absolutely disagree with, and I'm like, you're a fucking moron. I won't say that to their faces because I don't like to be mean, but
You still know that they're not bad people.
and yeah, there are people who are on either side that are still close friends and family and
That know the difference between right and wrong. It's not like I'm going to judge a liberal or a conservative just because like they have their choices. I'm going to judge them if they're like a murderer / rapist / they beat somebody or like very like ill-minded person. Then I'm going to be the judgmental person.
Sure.
But for your ideas and thoughts,
Yeah.
dude, that's cool. I want to listen to why you think that way. Can you listen to me?
And I think the minute you choose and commit yourself to a side is the minute you limit how open you can be, because then there's not going to be an intellectual conversation to be had, or it's not going to go far. So you have a dude on the right who's completely poised and ready, and look, this is how I feel. But since he's on the right, no matter what same dude on the left is going to say, there's going to be a grain of salt taken with what it is, and dude on the left could be completely valid, dude on the right could be completely valid. And it's hard, like the analogy goes really far, right? Like right wing, left wing, we're all part of the same bird.
Yeah, that's true, right?
And I mean, at this point, I'm observing, because I'm not going to get into a political fight over someone over gun control, because my opinion on gun control isn't going to change Congress's opinion on gun control. Like, if I cared about it that much, I would voice it. But truthfully, I work in education. If it's going to happen, my school is open as fuck. I'm not going to give the school location because I don't trust people.
No,
But,
it's fine.
but it's open as fuck. So if it's going to happen, I'm going to fucking die. Like, that's just something I've accepted. And, I mean, I'm as likely to die in a mass shooting at my school.
You're more likely to die
As I am.
Going on the freeway to traffic.
Right.
Just like.
As likely as I am to die on the way to my car, which is right outside your house.
Exactly.
Like, I mean,
the possibilities of the way they parade the bad news is what makes people scared.
Yep.
Obviously, there was a school shooting. Mm-hmm. Was there a school shooting in all the other 50 states?
Right. Yeah. There's been several, and it is scary shit. Like, the thing that, I don't know.
Come on, man. Let it all out.
I'm working on it.
This is what we're here for. We want to hear the truth. This is why this podcast is called Muse Me, because we want to hear everything.
Yeah, dude.
Go ahead.
So I hate that anyone on this planet, any human being, can take away the value of another human being's life over whatever, you know? So every school shooter, we'll take Parkland, for example. Dude, I don't even fucking know his name, but he had no idea who he was killing. The idea he had is, here's the next big news headline. That's the mentality going into it. I'm ready to be on the news. I'm ready to be made famous throughout the news. And the problem I have with that is it's easy to do. Like, the way we let anyone get a gun. And I mean, I'm not going to blame the gun retailer, because it's the dude with the gun.
That's how it is. Like right now, you can go into Walmart and buy a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's even you.
Even I.
Yeah, that's the thing is like it's the regulation of what the person is going to do at that point.
I hate that, especially on the news, we've devalued how much it can hurt people. Like, the only value that comes from it to anyone who does the news is the story that it can create. So you have the father who is spouting off, you know, my daughter died in a gun shooting. We have to take all the guns away from everyone. And that it's glamorized. And
that one person's opinion or something.
That one person's opinion. It's like, yeah, your daughter died doesn't... I shouldn't say that. That sounds insensitive. Yeah, your daughter died. That doesn't make the person on the opposite point of view's opinion less valid.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Does that make sense? Like, it sounds harsh and insensitive, and as someone who works in a school, I don't want to see children die. And I hate that we can devalue any part of their life for a fucking news story.
Right? Especially for like ratings or whatever they're trying to get out of it.
Yeah. And that's all it is it becomes another news story. And then you get a bunch of high school kids who are scared and riled up walking out of their education, which truthfully wasn't much of a good education to begin with, you can assume.
But then that's even worse now is because like now they have this mentality is like, I can't even go to school because I might get shot.
Yeah.
What am I going to do there now? Like, why would I go?
And the way I reconcile it is, if I'm going to go, it's my time. I had a good time here. I didn't have a good time here. It's over. You know, it's not in my control. I'm not going to try to take control of something that is clearly way out of my control. Not that in that situation I'm just going to lay over and wait for them to kill me.
Hey, bro. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I'm going to do everything I can to protect my children, my staff, everyone
Yourself,
that I can.
everything.
Myself.
But
if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And
the fact that you have this likely scenario is still, you know, you're looking out for more than just yourself.
Yeah.
You're not just like, if something were to happen, I'm going to run and hide and go. No, you're already like, I'm going to do my best to try to do something, but come whatever may.
Yeah.
And that's the best mentality to have sometimes is because like, if you like procrastinate and contemplate your ideas and your thoughts and your actions, it might prevent something amazing to happen.
And people get lost in their own thoughts and their egos end up, well, I'm right. And yeah, it's fucking sad to see children die. You know how the real way we stop that is to stop glamorizing it, you know? Every shooter that's happened in the last year has had their face all over the media.
Right. I love how they make it portray it too. It's like a body count. That's like, oh, this guy got this many, and this one is this one now. And now
the meme, and I'm a sucker for insensitive memes. Like shit happens. I think memes about it are the funniest thing. I know it's not.
No, it's fine. You know what the rule of comedy is? If it doesn't hurt somebody, then it's not funny. It has to hurt somebody.
I love that.
If it doesn't hurt somebody, it's not funny.
And it's not like I'll laugh at a meme and then say to someone who's watched their child die, like, oh yeah, you're fucking stupid. Like, obviously, there's a time and a place. You have to know your time and your place for your comedy and, you know, whatever.
No, I get it.
But the glamorization of all of these shooters and shit, it upsets me. We had, my vocalist lives in Las Vegas. He works on the Strip. He was there the night that fucking shooting from Mandalay Bay happened.
Okay.
He wasn't like in it or in a risk. He was down the street a little bit, but he sent me a Snapchat the other day and he was like, it's so much fucked up vibes walking by here. And that kind of got to me. And then like 20 minutes later, I read a meme about it. It was like 54th. Those are rookie numbers with all of the arsenal he had. And I was like, shit, I laughed. And I think offensive memes are the funniest thing, but I think
it's awareness.
It is. And if you can make yourself laugh about anything, it has no power over you. So instead of sitting here in fear that someone's going to come shoot me, I sit there and hope that if someone does come shoot me, someone is there to make a meme about it.
Right? Or like you look at the example of, say, if you did get shot. The guy comes in the house, he trips, maybe bust his mouth open before he ends up shooting you. That's on his part, you idiot. You're the one making it
fucking dumbass
on himself. See, and you could probably see it like if it was happening to you. You're just like, wow, dude, you're just gonna fucking kill me, and you just do that. You're obviously like not even on that aspect of like doing anything on that. It's so weird how you think of it too, because like it's just glamorizing the bad.
Exactly, and that's my problem. If you're gonna fight a genuine fight against the bad, you know what? Power to you. I don't want school shootings to happen. If you want to fight guns, go ahead. If you want to fight the people that are fighting guns, you have guns. Best of luck. May the best man win.
Right? I mean, at that point, it's up to the individual.
And like I said, I'm not willing to let myself lose friends over it. Because in the grand scheme of things, as cliche as that sounds, it's like I'd rather know I had a friend who completely disagreed with me on everything that I stand for, but we got along on one fundamental level. Because again, it's the value of the people. Like, I don't know you very well, Angel. You don't know me very well, but we've learned so much about each other just on this podcast. We could absolutely fucking hate each other via politics, but I'm not gonna let that stand in the way of like, you're a cool dude, I'm a cool dude. Let's
Yeah.
fucking hang. Let's make music together.
Right. I like what you do. I'm not
Yeah.
judging you on because of your political views.
Uh-huh.
If anything, I won't bring it up because
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
And it's funny. I went to a school which was the student body and the staff were intensely liberal. Like, I couldn't make a conservative based joke. Or we had a guy who made a gay joke once. One gay joke. Labeled as a homophobe. People like just went after him like a bunch of vultures. And then conversely, you get the other ones that are like, you say one thing that's slightly left leaning and then they go after you. I hate letting people be divided. It's fucked up. I don't want to waste my time on that.
Especially when they like dictate how you're supposed to think. They're like, oh, you shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be calling people gay. It's like, why? You're not the one telling me what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Back in like fucking the 50s, gay was happy. Why
Mm-hmm.
are you judging what I
Yeah.
say? Especially if it's like subjugating to somebody else. I mean,
And you know what? You're absolutely okay to be offended. It's not going to change the way I
view or what I say.
Mm-hmm. And there's also the converse of that. Know your audience. Don't go to a gay bar and be like, fags.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sorry, don't do that. That's fucked up. Don't go saying the N-word to a bunch of black people. Because, like, I don't know, people don't know their audience, and that's what gets them in trouble. Know your audience. If a joke is funny, a joke is funny. If it's not funny, it's not funny.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah.
Do what you can to try to. Obviously, if that joke wasn't funny, you're going to go off of those rest of the jokes that are like that and go into something new. So
Yeah.
you have a new aspect of what you're doing.
Yep.
Comedy is great. I love comedy.
Yeah, dude.
You like comedy?
I love comedy.
You
I
have
love
a-
I love laughing. Like anything that I think is funny, or I just like finding things I think is funny. And I think what draws me about the offensive memes that I enjoy are that they take it to a level to be funny.
Yeah.
That they don't have to, but it's just they went there, and that's what I like about like music. You didn't have to go there, but you went there, and I enjoyed it. Or you didn't have to go there, but you went there and I didn't enjoy it, but I enjoy that you went there, you know? I don't know. I said a lot. I spent
Don't even think about it.
the last 10 minutes literally saying the same thing.
That's the point, though.
I'm fucking tired.
we got the same ideas. I get
Uh-huh.
what you're saying. I get what you're saying. You're not trying to be this person who's changing people's views.
Yeah.
You want to learn about them. You just want to.
Tell me why you think guns are absolutely the devil's invention and why every gun shouldn't happen. I mean,
Take her out right away. Yes, that's the thought. But yeah, I see what you're saying though, because
And tell me why you think that you should own the right to a lethal weapon.
right. If you want a dildo in your closet, do it. I mean,
Yeah.
you want to tell me why you want to do that? That's up to you.
Uh-huh.
All of these things are things that you can tell me, but I'm not going to judge you. I just want to listen.
Yeah, dude. And I just want to listen.
That's awesome. That's always a great aspect of being that person too.
Yeah.
Just listen.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's what we're both doing.
Another thing, too. There were people that would always get so offended at that school by the littlest things. And the worst thing I could possibly tell them, because it was absolutely true, is you don't have to be offended. He can say something absolutely fucked up, completely wrong, completely inappropriate at a time, and you can choose to let it go. Like, my girlfriend's birthday party was yesterday.
Okay.
My parents came, and 2 times in conversation, they were able to just subtly slip in, when are you going to get a real job? I mean, I have a real job at an elementary school, but like, when is it time to throw in the towel and say, okay, I'm done trying to make music happen for me, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And I mean, I get it. You know, that's their prerogative. I'm cool with it because that's not what they're doing. That's what I'm doing. But I don't have to be offended by it, you know? They can think I'm an absolute moron, and I don't have to be offended by it. The thing I get offended by the most is people just willing to disband people over dumb shit.
Their view.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
So, another controversial view. You're going to get mad at me for this one. I don't like Metallica.
That's fine. I don't. I like Metallica to a certain point.
Sure. And I mean, they've influenced everyone who does metal.
Yeah,
Whether or not anyone will admit it, They've influenced everyone.
Yeah.
I don't like Metallica. Their sound should have stayed in the 80s, I think. And it's just not something I enjoy. I think it's primitive, and I think there's a lot more music out there worth exploring that does a lot more compositionally, playing-wise, and everything.
I think it's more primitive now than what it used to be.
And yeah, back then, that was groundbreaking as fuck. No one had done what Metallica had done.
And you still hear that stuff now, and you're just like,
I've heard it.
people are barely doing that now. Even like amazing up and coming bands are just like, they're taking that influence what they did in the 80s. But then you hear Metallica now, and they're like, let's take influence what people are doing now and bring it into it. And it's just like, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I got you.
Fuck Metallica. I'm not a Metallica fan.
You know what? If you like them, go ahead. I just don't.
From my standpoint, from Kill 'Em All, from 3 songs on the Black Album and all of the rest discography wise, I love them.
It was
but anything
masterful for the time.
Everything of that and is and it's again, I like it because it was there for the time. Like I'll listen to it because it was cool.
Yeah.
And I like it because of then, but I'm not looking for the influence, or I'm not trying to be like, I need to sound like Metallica.
But so, saying this shit at like, what concert was it?
A gay Metallica concert? Just kidding. I even went to go see Metallica in
Did you?
Denver.
How was it?
It was okay. You know who I was more excited to see?
Who?
Have you ever heard of a band called Volbeat?
Yes, I have.
Love those guys,
Yeah?
man. The vocalist sounds like some like 60s fucking awesome Elvis impersonator. His voice is so deep and but the music is so like melodic and metal. It's sick.
That's cool. I'll have to check them out.
Yeah,
Send me a link.
Volbeat, man.
Volbeat. I've known the name. I've heard the name. I just haven't given them much of a listen.
Yeah, so when I went to their concert, I was like, yeah, Metallica, but then
Volbeat was where it's at.
Yeah.
But, so I don't like Metallica, and there are people who I could talk to that would be absolutely fucking offended.
Right.
Like, how the fuck don't you like Metallica? They started metal, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, yep, I heard that before. Uh-huh, yep. You don't have to be offended. You can get berated by someone. Like, completely, your opinion is invalid, told that by someone, and you don't have to be offended.
Okay, well, obviously I'm not going to be able to offend you with the stuff you've been telling me, but here's an opinion I have that maybe you don't agree with.
Offend me.
I thought the 80s glam metal scene was the best guitar work by far.
Oh my god, I'm triggered.
There you go. Nowadays you kind of hear that influence of bringing back the intense solo.
Yeah. The solo it's shaped itself in a weird way, like just that part of music, because you go back to like Led Zeppelin, the Beatles even, they had solos. It was the next part of the music where instead of the vocalist singing, it was the guitar singing or the drum singer or the bass singer or whatever
instrument they had.
Now I mostly hear guitar solos. I haven't heard a good drum solo in forever or a good bass solo in forever, but I've heard fuck ton of guitar solos.
And I've heard a lot of decent keyboardists too nowadays.
Yeah?
I found like that's what I venture in, is a lot of like melodic death metal.
Sure.
So with a lot of cool keyboard and electronic sounds.
Children of Bodom.
Another band is Necrogoblicon. You should check them out. They're really fucking intricate. Like I love and I know you're kind of what you like. I think you would like these guys.
I love the name. Like, that's fun to say.
Necrogoblicon. They have a mascot that goes on stage with them all the time, known as John Goblicon.
That's dope.
Just literally, he follows them on tour and everything.
I love it.
He's awesome.
I want to do that for a living. I just want to tour and wear something on stage. That'd be my entire job.
Right? Because that's all he does is like just fuck around and does random shit.
But like, so going back to your point, the 80s glam metal and everything was the best guitar work.
I thought, in my opinion.
And you know what? I can see why you thought that. There's impressive musicianry to be found in every era of every bit of music.
Yeah.
So like, there are pop songs right now, like top 5 charts, the most generic ass fucking pop songs that I listen to that I'm like, fuck, I love this.
Hey.
Whereas
Stop it.
A metal guy, I'm like, this is generic as shit and I don't like it for whatever reason. Like, I don't know. New fucking Taylor Swift, I fucking love that shit. Taylor Swift is awesome.
Nice.
New fucking Metallica, I'm like, can they stop yet?
Right? I'd rather listen to fucking like Pitbull than fucking Metallica at that point.
Yeah.
In some aspects, but
sure.
It's just I've never been the person to categorize music, I love it all. Like all of it, no matter what. Like if you put a genre on music, then I honestly feel like you're just making it stupider.
Yeah.
Because in general, the E that is played in country is the same exact E relative that's played in metal. The same thing that's played on the sax solo. It's all fucking related, the same thing. When you start bringing it into like, oh, well, that sounds like it sounds new wave, or oh, that sounds like it would be more dark, goth like, then that's where I have a problem.
And it's like, yeah, so I don't know. Let me think of how to say this.
Triggered. Just get it.
I could write something and it sound totally thrashy. I'm not a thrash guy. Thrash isn't my cup of tea, but I could write something and I could be like really feeling it and it could be totally thrashy. And there are people who I'll take it to and they'll be like, yeah, it's okay. You know, it's all right. It sounds like thrash metal though. And the way they'll say that will completely invalidate
what you were thinking.
Because there are two options. I can do what I've been preaching. I don't have to be offended. Be like, okay, you don't like it, then that's on you.
Whatever.
This is what I have. Or I can get totally offended. Be like, no.
This is like kind of thrash. It's not thrash. It's kind of thrash.
But then I think when you exclude stuff like that and say, well, this can't be good because it is thrash, or this can't be good because it's influenced by country. I fucking hate country, but if there's something good influenced by country, there's something good influenced by country. It puts the musician in this example in a creative box, and it limits where people go. I've been struggling to write because there was a time where I was like, oh, I can't write anything that sounds a little bit thrashy. Oh, I can't write anything that sounds a little bit deathcore. And then I'm like, why? So now I'm trying to revitalize all that old influence I used to have and combine it into something new. But I'm so wired to think that, oh, it can't sound like this, or it can't sound like that. And I'm like, why? If it's good or if it sucks, it's what it is, you know? And I think art in that regard has been destroyed. Not destroyed. The value of art has been
not even
diminished.
Just altered. Obviously, you might think of it as like this riff isn't as good as the other riff just because of the category of what you're putting it in.
But there are Erlen moments where it gets a little thrashy. There are Erlen moments where it gets a little deathcore. There are Erlen moments where it gets straight up fucking 2000s metalcore. And personally, I love playing it all. Like they have a way in their writing to elicit a feel. So now that I'm playing it, I'm like, holy shit, I'm fucking feeling this chord progression or this solo or this riff or whatever the case may be. I'm fucking feeling this generic ass 2000s breakdown, you know?
Yeah.
And
it's just what the song brings to you.
Yeah.
I've always seen it as like what you feel is what you get. What you feel is what you get, like no matter what.
And I look back on that time where I would write music and be told, oh, it sounds a little like deathcore. It sounds a little like thrash. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could have kept that, instead of just immediately scrapped it to try to please whoever.
Sound more of what they wanted.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even remember where I was going with this topic.
Music is amazing. Like I said, I don't categorize music anymore as like genres and stuff.
Yeah.
I love to just keep it as like, hey man, you play classical music. I know the E minor scale. Let's play it together. And we totally engaged just with music. I didn't have to say like, oh, do you know the solo from E minor that Metallica does? Obviously she doesn't, because she's a classical player, you know. Why am I saying it's a girl?
It could be a girl.
I'm just hoping they are a girl. Dude, the women musicians are the best. I love that shit.
Women musicians are the best.
They like, even a magician that's a woman is amazing.
Women magicians.
Right? Magician. Yeah, that's say that 5 times fast.
Women magician.
No. Magician, musician. Magician, musician.
Magician, musician. Fuck.
There you go. Damn. We got a new challenge for season 3, baby. All right, man.
Happy I could help with this.
We have been here for like an hour now. We've been talking a lot. We have one more. I have a segment coming up.
Okay.
This thing is called Rapid Fire. Okay.
Alrighty.
Are you ready for this?
I don't know.
What I am going to do is I have a list of 25 words
that he hasn't memorized.
He hasn't memorized.
I need to memorize the list.
That's okay. It's okay.
I'm gonna say the word,
Uh-huh.
and I want you to say the first thing that pops in your head.
Okay.
No thinking about the answer, no kind of contemplating it. You're like, I want you to say the first thing that pops in your head.
All right.
And then, obviously, this is called rapid fire. We got the crowd going crazy. You can't hear them, but they're going
That's
crazy.
okay. Hi, crowd.
Hell yeah, go. This is rapid fire. This is the end of the segment, so we're going to do this
Alrighty.
and get everything wrapped up. But,
Good
dude,
for that.
thank you for coming.
Welcome, dude. Thank you for having me.
No, we got to do
was
this
fun.
again.
Hell yeah.
So don't let me get a few episodes under my belt, and we'll have
Hell
you on again.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe even do like a little jam or something.
Hell yeah.
So that'd be cool. Here we go. Rapid fire. Are you ready?
Yes.
25 words. Here we go. Pizza.
Good.
Island.
Food. I don't know why food, but
Music.
yes.
Cartoon.
Eh.
I need an answer.
Um,
Black.
white.
Trippy.
Dance, Gavin, dance.
Fast.
Fuck. I don't know anything that's fast. I'm so sorry. Fast and the Furious.
Animal.
Planet.
Spicy.
Quesadilla.
Maze.
Runner.
Army.
Army. Fuck. Navy.
Drugs.
Bad.
Air.
Breathe.
Pendulum.
Time.
Native American.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Scar.
Lion King.
School.
Fuck.
Magic.
The Gathering.
Computer.
Science.
Superhero.
Captain America.
Comedy.
Dumb as shit. I love it.
Bleach.
Don't drink it.
Fame.
It's not gonna happen.
Ham water.
Ham water. Pork water. I don't fucking know.
Amuse me.
Angel.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was rapid fire, man. Thank you very much.
I made that so not rapid. I feel bad.
It feels weird, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to think, and then I think of the last word that happened, and then that influences my thoughts. So like, island food. I was like, I don't know where I got that.
So what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna have so everyone that's been a guest has done the same list, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a compilation video where I'm just gonna
Okay.
put the word in black and white, music, and then all your guys' answers after
Uh-huh.
each other. So it's like music, blah 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 blah, island, blah 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 blah.
I love it.
So
I'm down.
everyone's gonna be on there.
yeah.
I'll send you the link when it's made.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for coming to the studio, man.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome. You take it. You have a nice drive. I mean,
I will, man.
you're going like across the state. Just kidding. But
Across the street.
all right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have you
Thank
on
you.
again. Yeah, man. Cue that music, man. and We're good to go. I mean, I'm just got to do a little switching on here, but thanks again, guys. Guys, we're gonna have a podcast next time. Check it out. Make sure to look up the band. Go ahead and give the band name again.
Erlen.
Anywhere they can find you. Facebook.
Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, whatever works. We're there.
I'll put some links on the video as well. So
Down, dude.
thanks again, man.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.